Let's go back in time, further back than the 50s, and talk about Charlotte Brown. Now, Charlotte was another black woman who refused to get off the public transportation. I was about to say bus, but during this period of time, the 1800s, there were not buses. There were streetcars, okay? Now we know that, fast forward, the buses had two sections. They had a white section and they had a colored section, right? So the streetcars in the 1800s did not allow black people to ride. They just were not allowed on the streetcars, okay? But along comes Charlotte. Charlotte, whose family had moved to San Francisco because of the California gold rush. Charlotte, whose family became part of the black upper class society in San Francisco. Charlotte, who just wanted to get home. Okay, that's all she wanted to do. So she gets on the streetcar. Remember, black people were not allowed to ride the streetcars. Okay? She gets on the streetcar that was about a block away from her house because she was like, that's a block, but I'm not walking it. Okay. And once she got on the streetcar, the conductor asked her to leave, approached her and said, can you leave, please? She said, no, I cannot, but thank you for asking. She said, I have every right to ride this streetcar. He asked her again, can you leave, please? And again, she said, no. Every single time that he asked her to leave, she refused. It wasn't until a white woman objected to her presence on the streetcar. Once the white woman objected to Charlotte's presence on the streetcar, the conductor grabbed her by the arm and what I read said escorted her off the car. But if you're grabbing somebody by the arm, you are forcibly removing them from the car. That's what you're doing. And why are we constantly forcibly removing black women from anywhere? Anyway, so Charlotte sued. She brought a lawsuit against the Omnibus Railroad Company. They were the ones who owned the streetcar at the time. And the lawsuit asked for $200. Okay. Now, the Omnibus Railroad Company said that the conductor was justified in what he did because the segregation laws at the time said that black people could be removed to prevent white women and children from being afraid or repulsed, to protect the white women and the children from being afraid or repulsed. Charlotte won her case. So remember, she asked for $200. The jury that presided over her case only awarded her $25. Okay. 3 days after the end of the first trial, the one that Charlotte won, the one where the verdict was in her favor, 3 days after that, Charlotte was kicked off of yet another streetcar. And again, she brought a lawsuit against Omnibus. And this time, instead of asking for $200, she asked for $3,000. And the 12th District Court upheld the first verdict that was in favor of Charlotte. They ruled that excluding passengers from streetcars because of their race was illegal. And he said that he had no desire to perpetrate a relic of barbarism. He was like, you know what? This is stupid. Stupid. Why are we preventing anybody, regardless of color, from riding on the streetcars? That's ridiculous. And he referred to it as barbarism. Okay? Now, Charlotte's case it paved the way, thank you. It paved the way for other challenges, other cases against white-only practices on privately owned streetcars. And I'm going to go further and say that it paved the way for Claudette Colvin. It paved the way for Rosa Parks. It paved the way for other cases that were not just about streetcars and not just about buses, but about trains as well, across the nation, including New York. It paved the way for those cases. And in some cases, those wins.